welcome to the program. My guests today are Don Parenti, the Assistant Vice President of Technical Sales, Global Technology Office for AT&T Public Sector. Don, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Jason.
Gary Langston, the Director of Strategy and Solutions for AT&T Public Sector. Gary, welcome to the discussion.
Thank you.
And Carl Teagan, the Assistant Vice President for Defense Segment for AT&T Public Sector. Carl, welcome as well.
Good to be here, Jason.
Let's define what end-to-end intelligence is, and then we can bring it back around to where the network as a service, the SDN, kind of helps that.
There's a couple aspects from you touched on two I think important themes. One being intelligence, and one being the edge to edge or end to end. When we think about intelligence, think about what we talked about earlier about API enabling the network and be able to make changes to network quicker in a more automated way. And then think about IoT and this notion of collecting more data and doing it in real time. Those two things lend themselves to artificial intelligence, right? So if you have an artificial intelligence platform that looks at the Internet of Things, and by the way, Internet of Things could also include sensors in the network itself, monitoring traffic flows and security devices and everything else. And you collect that data and then make a decision. Oh, I see something that might be a threat. Let me call the API to redirect that traffic. So think about where AI is going to play a big part in networking going forward, and it's enabled by SDN. If you did not expose those APIs, and if you didn't, and it's enabled by 5G, and if you didn't collect all that data from an IoT point of view, artificial intelligence is just not going to be nearly as effective. From an edge-to-edge point of view, it's really interesting to think about visibility. If a lot of different organizations are touching different parts of the network, and everyone has only a view of their portion of it, it's a lot harder to get an end-to-end view, right? A situational awareness view. If there is a problem, a performance problem in the network or an outage in the network, if you have to deal with many different organizations to kind of piece together the clues to find out where the problem is, you're going to struggle. Where when you take this sort of holistic as a service approach, it goes from wall jack to wall jack, edge to edge. You can take a really, really close view there and say, hey, I know exactly where the problem is, and I know exactly how to mitigate it. No, by the way, I implemented AI, and it's going to help me mitigate it for me.
Mitigate it and have an understanding of what the impact is to the warfighter. So quite often, me being a retired signal officer, it's, there's a circuit out or there's an outage of this, that, or the other. Well, what was the operational impact of that to the mission, to the commander, to the soldier in harm's way? Often that's a difficult thing to assess if you don't have access to all of that to that data.
It's interesting because there's so much talk about threat intelligence, and I think Carl brought it up and how much of the network traffic AT&T sees across the world, and by applying the understanding of the threat intelligence of what's happening on the network in real time back to the network, you can make decisions, but then it also helps you from a intelligence perspective of, okay, what country, what nation state, where's the problem coming from, and how do we react to that as well? Is that capability existing today only in pockets or at a place like NSA and Cyber Command or Army Cyber Command?
No, that information, that those intelligence services, those are available for those who use the AT&T network, who subscribe to the services that we offer.